I just got out of a meeting with my DHS caseworker, and she is threatening me once again to take everything unless I go and get a job. I explained to her I can't go and get a job. Actually, it's not even that I can't. It's that I do not want to. I have been on welfare for 13.
This is one of the things that I love about social media. I mean, while it does have some downsides, people doing ridiculous things for likes and clicks, but it gives you an insight that we would not have if we did not have social media. Here we have a woman who's been on welfare for 13 years. And as we all know, Donald Trump and administration is looking to put term limits on Section 8 and requiring able-bodied adults with no dependents to at least work, I believe, 80 hours a month or have some type of or be enrolled in some type of job skill training program. But here you have a woman who's just keeping it 100 and saying, look, I've been on the system for 13 years. I've been a parasite. My caseworker is trying to get me to get a job and being a contributing member to society. And look, I don't want to do it. I want to live off the backs of other hardworking individuals, and I just want to be lazy.
13 years. 13 years I have been on Section 8, so I haven't had to pay rent. Okay. Food stamps, cash assistance, disability. I don't even know how a job works. Okay. I don't want to work. That is the whole point. I don't want to work. I told
Just think about how insane this is. She's been getting free rent for 13 years. I mean, she looks to probably be maybe in her 40s. I mean, so over a third roughly of her life. Yeah, really. I mean, because you got to think about it. I mean, you can't really include the first 18 years. So more than a third of her life, she's never had to pay rent. She's probably never had to pay for groceries. She's getting EBT and she has cash benefits. This is why we need these term limits. And whether, again, like I said, you're a Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever, if you're a sensible person with any type of common sense, I don't see how you can be against these term limits on Section 8 because, as you see, a lot of people have abused the system. They become comfortable and they literally pass down this generational poverty on to their children.
her she is not going to take my food stamps. She is not going to take my Section 8. And I'm still not going to work. You trying to get me to work and me refusing is a you problem. It's not a me problem. I will continue to sit at home on my ass while the taxpayers work and support me and my children. Because if you are in America and you pay taxes, that is your responsibility. So, no, sweetheart, I'm not going to work. Thank you.
Absolutely insane that she believes she can sit back and pop out children and other people should foot the bill for her irresponsibility. Again, like I said, after seeing videos like this, I don't see how you could be against term limits. And if you see my previous video when it comes to discussing EBT, I'm a big fan of no junk food, no crab legs, no steaks. It should be the bare basics when it comes to housing with term limits. It should be the bare basic when it comes to food because all this does is enable people to want to be stuck on a system instead of encouraging them to use it as a trampoline or as a stepping stone to go on to bigger and better things.
Major changes may be coming to the subsidized housing program because Donald Trump has asked Congress to allow him to slash more than 40%, $26 billion from the Section 8 program and institute new rules that adults who do not have disabilities will no longer be permitted to be in the program more than 2 years. And homeless experts are already concerned about this, increasing the rate of homelessness because the rent prices have gone so high and people's income are not rising as quickly as these rent prices are. I think many of us do believe that this system has been broken. There are needs for changes. Personally, working with seniors who are 80, 85-year-olds, waiting to get an apartment for 2-3 years, having to live in shelters because there are able-bodied adults holding these certificates is an issue.
Definitely a major issue. Again, like I said, I do believe people who are have some type of mental disorder or some type of disability, they should be exempt from the term limits. But when you have so many able-bodied adults, as we've seen in the previous clip, just mooching off the system, I don't see how anyone could be against this.
If you get into these programs and you are a young adult, it should not be a lifetime plan if you don't have a disability or you're not a senior. This should be a 3 to 5 year program at tops, where you come in, you get in training, you get employment, and you start building yourself up to where you can start contributing more to your life until you are totally responsible for your life. Too many people are using these programs as a whole lifetime plan, right? And it's inconsiderate of the people like the seniors, like people with disabilities who truly need it. So, no disrespect to the people that use these programs, but they are not lifetime programs. They are to be used for the time you need them in their life, and then you get off of them until you need them again. Just like unemployment. You get unemployment when you're unemployed, not while you're working. All right? Have a good day.
Facts. I'm in total agreement. The only little pushback I would have is I believe 5 years is way too long. Like I said, I think 2 years, maybe three, is the sweet spot. So people will actually feel motivated and have some fire under them to get off of these programs and do something better with their lives.
Hi, my fellow people. And this is for the ones keep talking about get off Section 8. I have some reasons of why to stay on Section 8. Because one, ain't nobody asked us to go have these kids. And there ain't nobody asked us to tell us that life was going to be hard back then. That it's easier now. So as a mother, I raised all my kids and I raised them well. And they all are grown. And I'll be damned why it's time for me to live my life. I'm going to give my Section 8 because you choose to do.
Okay, let's pause it right there because right off the bat, she contradicts herself. She says that she raised no one asked you to have these children, and you should be responsible. And then she turned around and said she's raised her children. Her children are, they're grown, they're independent, they're able to take care of themselves. But then she turns around and say now that she's done that, she's not going to get off of Section 8 herself now because it's time for her to live it up. So basically, she doesn't want to be an adult, is what she's really saying. She doesn't want to grow up. She doesn't want to have real responsibility. She doesn't want to have real bills. She wants you and I, the taxpayers, to support her laziness.
Do the wrong thing by going out getting charges under your name, getting apartments under your name, and doing things that ain't had nothing to do with you under your name. So why I got to give up my Section 8 because I did all the right things. In the damn Section 8, ain't no more zero rent, ain't no $5 rent. These people don't went up like market rent. So you think I'm gonna give up my Section 8 because y'all say I've been on it a long time? As long as I got life, I'ma stay on my Section 8. Yeah, me, I'ma stay on my Section 8. So y'all get off that by you too old to be on Section 8. No, you too old to be talking about Section 8. Well, you build some apartments and some houses and say I can live there. Then I'll give my Section 8. Until then, leave me and my Section 8 alone. And you have a nice day.
Just think about this is the mindset that she passed on to her children. This beggar mentality, looking for handouts, looking for someone to take care of your responsibilities that you made, never wanting to grow up and wanting to be a kid forever. And we wonder why a lot of these youth are lost and misplaced.
The video a couple of months ago talking about they getting rid of food stamps and they getting rid of Section 8 real soon. Well, let me correct myself. You getting to minimum of 2 years to be on Section 8 and your ass gonna have to get off. Mother, don't you believe it? Can't you believe motherfuckers gonna tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about and I'm just talking about a whole bunch of ignorance? Now, before I go in more.
And this brother is really angry. Anthony Hamilton, he really didn't fell off.
In depth into this, shout out to all the people that's on food stamps Section 8 that really need this shit. I understand it's hard times right now. There are people that really need this shit. Like I got disabled, our veterans, they need that. Even single mothers out here that's having a hard time, they need it. I'm not taking that away from you. I ain't taking that away from you. But for the motherfuckers that just want to sit around and be lazy eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches all goddamn day, bologna Scooby-Dooby-Doo sandwiches, all they want to do is sit down and eat Doritos, stack up their whole goddamn house with Doritos, bologna sandwiches, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and just do nothing all goddamn day, you're getting 2 years minimum. 2 years minimum. You heard what Trump said? And you gonna be in trouble. You gonna have to get off of that. I done had people in my comments or in my message be talking about that's hate speech. What you doing is discrimination. Or what you doing is fearmonger. You ain't been discriminated yet, but it's on the way. Trust me. You gonna be discriminated in a few minutes. They're not playing. You want to sit around, be lazy, and collect food stamps and eating Oreos and chocolate chip cookies all day? You getting 2 years minimum. And that's it. You gonna be off it.
Man, this brother, this must be personal. He must know somebody in his life that's on receiving type of government assistance and got him really tight. I mean, he can't even get his words together. But I mean, I agree with his sentiment. Again, like I said, these programs should not be lifetime. They should not be people 5, 10, 15 years who have been on a program just mooching off of it. Again, I believe these term limits are a great thing. Hopefully this thing goes, gets passed and put into place. Again, so like people could be better productive members of society. Again, we all know things happen in life. Unemployment, whatever. You get injured. Things happen in life, whatever. People make mistakes. You get down on your luck. There's nothing wrong with getting some assistance, getting a helping hand. But when that turns into, again, it's one thing to fall down in life, and it's another thing when you fall down and you just refuse to get up and try to you refuse to try to get up and do better. And a lot of people get on these programs and they get so complacent. Again, I'm sure we all know somebody, a friend of a family member who's on the system, able-bodied, and literally abusing it. And it's just not fair when you have people who are literally going up, waking up every morning, busting their behinds, barely can make the rent, barely can make their mortgage, barely can put food on the table. But then you have someone who's literally made all the wrong choices and wrong decisions in life, and they get a free pass. Make it make sense.
Nate, baby, let's talk about it. Section 8 is a blessing. It was created to help people who are struggling, not as a trap, but as a trampoline. It's supposed to give folks room to breathe while they rebuild. Mentally, financially, emotionally, spiritually. Let's be real, not everybody uses this like that. Instead of elevating, some people are doing everything that they can to stay stuck. And it's not because they can't grow. It's because they've grown comfortable in struggle. The first thing is, if I make too much money, they'll raise my rent. So instead of leveling up their income, people start turning down hours, quitting jobs, choosing under the table work. They can keep their rent low. They feel
She's exactly spot on. It makes people complacent when it really should be the exact opposite. You actually kind of see this same effect where you have people who get put on child support. You hear brothers or men getting put on child support, and then they want to work less. They want to try to find under the table work. They want to try to ways to finesse and get over on the system when you would think logically it should motivate you to go harder and make more money. But a lot of times people on this system have they're very lazy. They have a victim mentality, and they're looking to finesse and get over.
fear abundance because they believe to condition that more success equals less support. What they don't realize is they're capping their own potential just to stay small. A lot of people feel like, why leave if I'm comfortable? Some folks get used to paying $0 to $20 of rent, so they just stop striving. They stop planning to own a home, improving their credit, or breaking generational curses. They just sit. Meanwhile, people with the real needs, single mom with disabled kids, the elderly, folks on disability, are sitting on the waiting list for years. They attach their identity to struggle. Struggle becomes familiar. Growth feels uncomfortable. So they stay where it's safe. They don't have to change, risk, or expand. It's not always laziness. Sometimes it's trauma and fear. But the result is the same. They block their own elevation. Some people like to game the system. Lying about who lives in the home, not reporting full income, having partners who live rent-free.
Yep, it becomes a game of finesse and trying to manipulate the system and seeing how much you can get out of it. And again, like as a lot of people essentially sell their life away for $500 rent, $100 rent, $20 rent. But let me know what you think in the comments below. How do you feel about this new Section 8 proposal? Do you believe there should be term limits? And if so, how long should it be? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.